Hey, how's it going, people? Brown Brady here, and thank you for tuning into my channel. And in this episode, I'm going to show new and returning riders the motorcycle startup process. But first of all, why do you need to learn how to start a motorcycle? It should be pretty simple, right? Well, I can think of a couple of reasons, and the first one is you don't want to run out of fuel shortly into your ride. And secondly, if your motorcycle does not have a side stand safety feature, your motorcycle could get away from you as soon as you start it. And as prescribed by the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, the sequence follows the acronym FINEC. So what I'll do is I will go through each letter, describe what it is, and then I will run through it in real time. Starting up with this carbureted bike, which is a 1983 Honda Nighthawk 450. F stands for fuel supply and fuel level. For fuel supply, we want to check that the petcock is not in the off position. In this case, my petcock is in the reserve position because during my last ride, I ran low on fuel and I had to switch on reserve. This also indicates to me that the fuel level is low and that I would need to gas up as soon as possible. If you don't have a fuel gauge, a couple of ways to check is to obviously pop open the gas tank and have a look inside, or to get on the bike and rock it back and forth and listen for the splashing. I stands for ignition, which means we insert the key and put it in the on position. N stands for neutral, which means you have to check to make sure that the neutral indicator is illuminated. If that is malfunctioning, make sure that you hold the clutch in before you start the bike. And another way that I do is every time I park the bike, I make sure that it is in neutral. E stands for the engine cutoff or emergency engine cutoff. You have to make sure that it is disengaged. In this case, I'm just going to switch it to the run position. C stands for a couple of things, choke and clutch. For carbureted bikes, especially when it's a little colder outside, we want to make sure that the choke is on to create a rich fuel mixture. And finally, we want to pull the clutch in before we start up the engine. Now I'm going to go through the startup process in real time. Fuel. Ignition. Neutral. Engine cutoff. Choke. Clutch. For bikes with fuel injection, the acronym remains the same with some minor tweaks. F simply stands for fuel level. So to check for fuel level, if you don't have a fuel indicator, is to open up the gas cap and visually check, or to rock the bike back and forth. In this case, I can simply turn on the engine and check the fuel level that way. I stands for ignition, which means we insert the key and switch it on. N stands for neutral, which means we check the neutral indicator to make sure that it is illuminated. Again, I make sure that the bike is already in neutral whenever I park it. E stands for engine cutoff, or in this case, engine stop. We make sure that it is disengaged. And C stands for clutch, which means we pull the clutch in just in case the neutral light indicator is malfunctioning. Now I'm going to go through the process on a motorcycle with fuel injection. F. I. N. E. C. And a couple of things that I want to mention before starting up my motorcycle is that I check to make sure that my wheel lock is not engaged. And secondly, I check to make sure that the bike wasn't vandalized while I was away, like somebody pulling the spark plug or deflating the tires. Anyway guys, I think that's it for this episode. I hope that it was helpful to new riders and a refresher for returning riders. If you found that it was helpful, please hit that like button, or better yet, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. As always, ride safe, and thanks for watching.
You look like a bobblehead.